I'm
Of
just
course, you've also
trying.
got the benefit of having you could pick a core alongside it, right? They've gotten rid of the jug, I suppose, but what else could they go? Like Razor's not terrible this game. Yeah, with the Bane, it's a little awkward, but in the lane it should do just fine, and I feel like the Marcy would enable it so heavily.
True, Marcy hasn't been valued at all so far between NoSorry and Nemiga. Second phase, no ban,
Dire
no
team
pick.
pick.
Look at the Phoenix. Okay. What are you going to look
You
to?
have no egg hitters.
It's, yeah. I, Centaur for quite some time has always been
Radiant
a nice way
team
to deal
pick.
with Phoenix. I know you're now very much relying on Coil to hold them back. This DK also gives you at least one person can kind of control. They also didn't have the greatest tower push. Pugda now won't be forced to go into a little bit more points in the Nether Blast, so gives them some flexibility
10
as well.
seconds remaining.
You absolutely want to be maxing Nether Ward this
5
game on
seconds
on the
remaining.
Pugna. Like anytime you're up against a Skywrath, you just completely take him out of the excuse me out of the game. I was mentioning before that the Phoenix, they don't really have amazing egg hitters. Well, same sort of thing applies to the Nether Ward, right? As long as you could just get it in a safe position where it's slightly out of vision, you're gonna have a really solid time on Nemiga.
You life still is an option. Puck's
Yeah,
not too much of an issue.
possible.
Great egg hitter, very good versus the Dragon Knight. Um,
They couldn't Dawn, could they?
oh no,
Dawn's not
sorry.
terrible. Yeah, it's not terrible. You could see a mid dawn or a pos one dawn we've seen done across some of the different regions. I feel like it's just another one of those ways you pop the stampede and then you
Dire team ban.
solo guardian on top of them
Templar
all.
Assassin.
So yeah, instead, okay. I was thinking if anyone might have picked the Templar assassin, it might have been Nemiga, just because once you
Radiant
get
team ban.
the Aghanim shard, it would have been effective against the Bane, but well, apparently not. And now it does kind of feel like this is a TA mid though, right? Into the puck,
Yeah.
it's going to be a little bit more promising. But with Nemiga banning out the Kunkka, does kind of feel like they're in two minds. Maybe just wanting to take
10
the option
seconds
away
remaining.
for the flex. Just you've already gotten rid of the Ember Spirit, you've gotten rid of
5
the
seconds
Kunkka. TA
remaining.
has been picked, so I don't know. Feels a little bit weird to me.
I feel like you are very single target reliant on No Sorry, and I'm a bit
Dire
concerned if
team ban.
a illusion hero can be picked up. I think PL is. I think it looks very awkward with their heroes. I don't know if there would be maybe Naga actually might be a lot better just with the setup for the egg, for the coil. The song would be really
10
nice to counter the
seconds remaining.
stampede. But I think, is there any illusion
5
hero that you
seconds
could see that
remaining.
you'd maybe put a little bit more, that you feel would be better this game? Because I think NoSorry a very single target.
Yeah, I'd probably say the PL over the Naga, just because you're constantly going to be able to replenish a lot of those juxtapose illusions that are going to be hitting the TA, whereas Naga, you use mirror image, that's what you got. I really don't feel like it's going to be his job at all to kill the Centaur. It's just going to be like,
Radiant
okay,
team
try and
ban.
control him as much as possible. I mean, look at that. They're getting rid of all of the wave clear, right? Or the illusion clear. Coddle, Kunkka. This really does feel like an illusion pick, and I think it's going to be the PL.
We've seen NoSorry as well. Bloodseeker banned out for the moment, so I feel like this is something they're trying
10
to protect with
seconds
their
remaining.
24th, because really the Bloodseeker doesn't have any good lane combo. There's no
5
like
seconds
stun
remaining.
into Blood Right, which can be really
Dire
nice
team
setup.
pick.
And I think really the only thing we see right now is Rupture's pretty good versus the Stampede. That's about it. So I wonder if they're maybe protecting like a Razor that could come out, looking for like a one that is not as much of a win condition.
Radiant team pick.
Alchemist.
How do I feel about this? I mean, it's going to be hard for them to burst him down, I think. You've got a good amount of silencers and
10
stuns. You've got a
seconds
Phoenix that's
remaining.
going to be helping him out. You've got the Pugna that's going to be minusing that magic damage coming through.
Choose your hero.
Okay, so it is a 1 TA. Not the mid one that I was thinking about up against the puck. I don't know. I'm left a little puzzled with this draft, to be honest. The Alchemist feel like should do. Will he do fine in lane? I don't even know if he will. Right, like Pugna early on is only able to do so much against this lineup, and I feel like Kiritich might suffer as a result of that.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be a big difference between the damage on the Centaur and Alchemist. I think quite some time that was a advantage on Centaur as a hero, where you had a lot of base damage. You also had that Retaliate at that stage as well, where you could just outlast hit someone through the early couple of waves. I think it's still going to be the same even without the Retaliate over the Alchemist, and you might have to go for like a Ring of Protection or something just to have a little bit of armor in this lane, especially with the right clicks from the Pugna. But I'm a bit concerned as well in the lane. I don't know if they can kill Kiritich, but I just don't know how much CS is truly going to get out of it. I'm also looking at like, why did they put the TA in the side lane? Why didn't they just match it up versus the Puck? It's a very good lane matchup. We've seen it for quite some time, even not just the lane, but a game matchup as well. So we'll see. I believe we did actually get to also watch Dream play the Templar Assassin versus Puck champ. So obviously it's something that they're very comfortable on, but just intrigued on why they're not playing it into a very good matchup.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned before you're not sure if the Alchemist is going to die in the lane. I could see why. If the lane is like in a fine state, I don't think they had the damage to be able to just take him out whenever they want. But I feel like the lane is going to be oppressive enough that when he goes up to try and get these last hits, he's just going to get slowly chipped away. And then eventually they can look to go for the kill, maybe once the Skyreth's up to level 2, level 3.
Well, maybe this is making a little bit more sense. It does look like Manic is more than comfortable on the Invoker. Grandmaster. Also got another Grandmaster. Mr. Melreen on the Puck. I like seeing some I like seeing some Master Phoenixes as well, because I think this hero is, it's strong in a good game. So bad? Oh, well, no real place to run here for the Pugna, especially with his 5 heroes invading the jungle, and, well, what would you know, Manic finding first blood on the position 2 Invoker.
30
Way to be able to
seconds
start. Did they
battle.
even get a ward down? Well, they've got one in their general jungle, I suppose. Not sure what exactly that provides them. Just any kind of movement to be able to snare away the bounty rune? I don't know. Like, they don't have the strongest rotating lineup. Like, Skyreth can. But I feel like Skyreth really wants to be just harassing the Alchemist. He's the win condition, not the Puck.
Oh,
begins.
I'm surprised. Interesting. They got the damage. Well, they got the aggro from the tower, but maybe they thought it was from the sky that was positioning, and it kind of looked like that it was, because they placed a sentry to the right side instead. They didn't double check. If they did, they would have got confirmation and a free D ward. Back to this observe ward as well, real quick, by the jungle. I do think there's going to be an advantage on NoSorry to rotate mid with the Sky and Bane at the 5-minute mark, but it's very interesting that you played
That's
the
not
ward
gonna
now.
stop Bane.
Yeah. So
Right? Like, it's Skyreth, and I understand wanting to make the rotation towards mid with the Ancient Seal and all of those silences, but again, Alchemist is the one that you need to stop. So I feel like you don't even need to actually make this rotation, especially considering Invoker already got that first blood.
you don't think Puck is someone that needs to be shut down just to make space for the Alchemist early?
I feel like you're doing the same thing basically, right? With less movement. You're either shutting down the Puck so that he's not able to make space for the Alchemist, or you're just shutting down the Alchemist, period, and not needing to put the Puck into the equation at all, you know?
Real quick to mention as well, we did get a 2-for-2 with the bounties. I didn't see if Kiritich already had the was Greed leveled up or not.
He did.
He did? Okay.
It's not much though. It's like an extra 15 gold or something.
How's he looking up top at the moment? Oh, only one last hit, so yeah. He's struggling a little bit on the Alchemist. Is he going to start? Gauntlet. Got his own self, stick charge. So bad. Might get this kill. One more right click, but this guy's gonna have decent enough movement speed to get out of range.
This guy's completely out of regen as well. Like, he just delivered a magic stick to himself, and I mean, an Alchemist isn't going to be spamming out abilities too often. Same sort of thing with a Pugna, right? Like, he's going to be using the Nether Blast for sure, but it really doesn't feel like Yond is going to be able to do anything in this lane now. Tango's immediately going to come out, but it's still quite some time. Okay, well, he was in a position to be able to continue pressuring, but by placing down that nether ward, it also gives him time to be able to rotate back. Obviously, the Sky doesn't want that up and available in the lane, so this double stacked small camp is going to be pushing the lane back in Kiritич's favor.
Well, bottom lane, Dream. A little bit of trouble at the moment. Refraction's able to come back up to protect him. We got Vazja on the Dragonite for the offlane on Nemiga. And he's having a pretty good time down bottom as well. I feel like this is... I don't think we're going to have much action down this bottom lane. What do you think?
No, I don't think so either. Like, this is just slow, slow, slow. It's going to be about securing your levels so that you can then eventually make the rotation through towards the jungle. Of course, you've got a decent way to be able to build up some stacks on the Radiant side. Skyreth, speaking of that hero that will be needing to do that role, he's trying to get a little bit of harass through, but it just becomes so much more difficult once that nether ward's available. Already has the urn coming out on Manic for this mid lane. He's taking a little bit of harass as well. Alreen just missing there on the Waning Rift.
Are we expecting kind of both these position 2s to have a pretty solid early game in regards to their rotations? Is there anything that they have to be too concerned about?
I mean, whenever you play this Invoker, you really don't want to be rotating through. I mean, you're a bit of a crit fanboy, right? You saw that tweet that he made about how his kill involvement and just attempting to go for last hits affected net worth for himself.
Yeah, it was like...
So, like, it was 15 assists versus, like, 2 and trying to hit 20 creeps or something like that. And they had the same net worth
top lane, so
however
bad.
long into the game.
I ended up going down unless Kiritич's able to get the concoction off, but too slow with the stomp landing fast enough. He should be able to trade! Oh, that's a lot of damage! Double edge level 1 as last hero gets a double kill for the Centaur. Oh, baby.
It's that Gauntlets of Strength, man. Just that little bit of extra damage coming through. How much did it end up doing? 110 damage, so not too bad there by last hero. But yeah, like, Invoker, you don't have any movement, right? You're just so slow prior to picking up a Boots of Travel, so I don't feel like he's going to be moving anywhere. If anything, someone else might rotate towards his lane. You're not going to be involved with Sunstrike. He's just going to want to be as passive as possible. I feel like NoSorry are going to be feeling very confident as long as they're not having to deal with an Alchemist that's uber farmed in the early game, and I feel like they've played the lane well enough that that is not going to be the case.
But do you reckon this Invoker can be passive, though, with a Coswex build? It's not like he's got an Exalt where he can kind of just sit back in the jungle.
I mean, until he gets his Boots of Travel, I think that's just going to have to be the way it is. Or someone needs to come to his lane. He's just not going to move anywhere in my eyes. It takes too long to be able to get back to the lane. And looks like it might be the Skyreth coming through with the smoke. Looking to wait for the puck to come back to the lane. They've got, of course, the Siege Creep to be able to assist with this push, but will this be enough? Level 3, Ancient Seal, 3 seconds duration. They want him to waste a couple of abilities. Maybe now they'll go.
Oh, with Orb on cooldown. He's got some Fairy Fire and 1 charges as well to be able to play with. Hellscream's gonna dive into the middle, but Melrink goes in with the silence. Oh, face shift back up to dodge the Arcane Bolt. Very close from the puck, though.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Kind of felt like Manic didn't even go for that last right click that was needed to be able to maybe get the kill onto the puck, but of course underneath the tower it's so much more difficult for those right clicks to have an impact. Look at last hero, he's just completely bullying out Kiritич on his own in this top lane.
They're gonna go for a dive on this wave.
He's not 6 yet. He's madly hitting creeps trying to hit his 6.
Oh, this is gonna be too far away. So bad he's soaking up experience now. So the Alchemists aren't able to get the Chemical Rage, and NoSorry up to a 4-kill start. Look at this. They're going bottom. Manning's going to TP down. Archangel's got the Nightmare to hold the Dragonite in place. He's pretty close to the tower. Let's see if they can get the kill of the Dragonite. Definitely not easy to bring down with 3 points in the Dragon's blood. Able to slowly chunk through his life ball, but it still isn't enough.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And this is what I was talking about, right? Like, I understand that they feel like it's really important for them to get this first couple of charges in the Urn of Shadows, just to be able to have that presence, to be able to
Hang on,
go
real
for the
quick.
ganks. But
Top outpost, this is important. Kiritid's trying to farm up the stack, and NoSorry, they're bringing multiple heroes to contest this. Even Melrine as well, looking to get involved. Sobat's gonna be a bit cautious, man. This is 4 points in the retaliate.
gonna be a lot cautious. He's just gonna go in without a care in the world.
Oh, Jesus, again. Look at this retaliate damage. They can't right-click him. What are you supposed to do? Coil does nothing. Maybe they can jump the sky in the backline instead. Even some more heroes feeling the importance to show up for this skirmish. Manic and Hellscream venturing to top, but looks like the skirmish is now over with.
Did disrupt a lot of that farming still on the Alchemist, though. It wasn't able to claim every single creep, but at least soak up a lot of that experience that he needs to be able to effectively farm more. He's going into the Radiance against
They're
the
gonna
TA.
go for him.
Choice.
Oh,
Last
okay.
hero.
Okay, just
That's
trying
a
to steal
Vanguard. I
a...
don't know if he can.
Yeah, I think it was just trying to steal a CS or two.
Generation.
Alright, let's see if there are any rotations again towards this mid lane from Nemiga. This time around, they've got Dream just with assisting that tower push. They still do have the glyph available, and landing the Fire Spirits means that refraction burn is going to be a factor. So a lot of movements are being done really well by NoSorry. It just feels like they're a couple of percent short with being able to actually convert that into something meaningful, whether that be a tower or a kill onto the Alchemist, who now has been able to overtake and be at the top of the leaderboard, as he should be, but still no charges into the urn. Last hero looked to go for a kill up here, so bad. Really just putting his body in the way, trying to slow things down as much as possible, realizing how important it is to maintain control of the jungle, but he'll pay for his life.
They were going to stampede for that, though. Thought they were going to guarantee the kill. Well, at least they'll get plus 20 gold as a bounty as well with that Nether Ward, but Manic's up to 2 urn charges. I feel like they're going to have some difficulty killing off the Centaur unless the Phoenix is able to get some levels into the Sunray.
Yeah, I agree as well. Like, Phoenix is going to be a factor later on, but I mentioned it during the draft, right? They're just going to literally ignore the Centaur as much as possible. What's the point? You're going to be taking damage, your damage taken is reduced by the Vanguard and the Hood. Just play for literally every single other hero. But they popped the Stampede because they realized how important it was to be able to have these couple of charges in the Urn of Shadows, particularly because there's this 10-minute mark that's just happened. They wanted to...
Oh my...
Oh, okay. Well, they're at least able to get rid of the haste with a tornado landing there, but I'd be really surprised if we didn't see a couple more rotations come towards this mid lane, particularly from Black Archangel. He's level 6, and they've got the siege creep wave coming.
Melrine. Again, man. He's going in with a Waning Rift. Decryptor to the Sunray. Man, he's playing with fire.
Now, I don't want to say that if Bane was there, he would have died, but that's exactly what would have happened. Like, he's just a little bit too slow to join. I mean, you've reached your level 6. That's the timing that you were waiting for. And, well, instead he just felt like having a raindrops for himself was a little bit more important. Means that they're not going to kill the puck, means they're going to have a little bit of a harder time taking this tower. They've only got one more chance to be able to use that Urn of Shadows to effectively get a kill.
And if they don't...
Maybe looking to go for that play that I was talking about before, right? DK's the one in their sights, looking to push with the siege creep, but Fiend's Grip, Mystic Flare, it's a lot of damage.
Even going to TP down to +1 as well, just to secure the kill. But the backstab should be easy enough. There's all the ultimates expended. With 3 heroes showing bottom, they're going to try on Centaur, but... yeah, good luck. Not happening.
He's feeling like a Timbersaw this game, you know? Someone that you're kind of aware is doing stuff on your top side of the map, but you do need to ignore him. Like, there are a lot more valuable kills to be able to pick up. Like Dream, he's going to start to scale a lot more effectively now that he's got the Dragonlance, he's got the Blightstone. Doesn't have any stacks to be able to play with, but should be able to start to accelerate his farm as well. But without those ultimates available for at least the next minute and a half or so for the Fiend's Grip setup, means that it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to be able to convert, although...
Mid lane. Orien's gonna
Coil.
try and take a fight inside the river. Coil with the supernova dropped as well. They've got the fire spirits for the attack slow, but they still get the egg. And now they can move over the puck as well with the ancient seal silence. Before the Sky's Mage is killed off, will secure the control. They're moving over to So Bad, but they've used a lot in the arsenal. Manic's just gonna try and zone him away so we can get the bounty of the Nether Ward. And this should now finally secure the tier 1 tower. Even Last Hero is gonna connect to mid.
There's that Radiance available though, so now Alchemist, yeah, you could use it to accelerate your farm, but now you can fight into the TA. I really wouldn't be surprised to see Nemiga look to make a play trying to disrupt Dream's farm a little bit.
Radiant's bottom tower.
DK? He's going forward onto Yon, but Manic's in the neighborhood. Vaj are really struggling down bottom the Dragon Knight. He got the tower denied, unfortunately. Killed off for the second time this game, so this Blink Dagger is going to continue to come at a later rate. But, man, this is a really good start for NoSorry. Huge props to Last Hero. Like, I know you just mentioned is almost acting like a Timbersaw this game. You just see how his positioning is taking so much farm away. The fact that he's getting 3 jungle camps by the top outpost, just taking all this aggressive farm, it really puts NoSorry in a position where they don't have a lot of safe farm that they can pick up here. Because, well, you look at Dream, he's getting all the safe farm he would ever want by their triangle.
That's exactly it. Like, it's not necessarily about being like a threat on the top side. It's just, it really limits the amount of space that Nemiga have to play around. So it's really obvious where Kiritich is at all times. He's going to run into Yond here, but should be able to get away both of them.
Oh, they're onto Manic.
Coil.
Yeah, down in the bottom lane. Coil out with the Sunray. Should be enough, and that's a pretty big kill. First death of the game for Manic. And it was So Bad that got the bounty as well, so very nicely done. They should be able to get bottom shoved in another wave and then maybe look to connect to mid with Vaj's Blink coming up in a couple hundred gold.
But this is it, right? That kill is actually worth so much. It's onto an Invoker, sure. They're really just wanting to see where he TPs after he respawns now. And then they're just going to put Alchemist farming and pushing into the lane that is as far away from that as possible.
Ooh, should get a solo kill on the Pugna. Ooh, don't run into the Sunstrike! Tried to get the life drain back off, but stood still. So Sunstrike from Manic only had 1 point in the exort, but that is all he needed. Hang on a second. Look at Roche.
DD. Your favorite.
Oh,
DD
no.
in front of the Roche pit.
They got the blink on Last Hero as well, so as soon as they get this Aegis, can you see them getting an objective? Because they do have Deso coming out shortly. Do you feel like maybe they can start to posture at taking that tier 2 tower top? Or is this just going to be an Aegis to farm and maybe get a pick off whenever you can?
I feel like you've got enough damage to be able to put pressure on tier 2 top, right? Like, they're still wanting to reduce the amount of farm that Alchemist has to play with. He's almost got his BKB though, so it's clear that Nemiga feel like they need to fight shortly. I think you just want to just continue to reduce the space that he can farm. And, I mean, if that means that he's playing on your side of the map instead of defending, I think you're fine with that.
Alright. With the blink though. Onto DK, so we'll see how Vaj is able to utilize this. He is underneath this trap down bottom, so they have full awareness of the Dragon Knight's positioning. Radiant, they are grouping up to smoke. Probably going to... I feel like they'd go top to the Centaur. Let's see. Maybe the Ancients now instead?
Especially considering Centaur's recently picked up the Blink Dagger, right? You want him to be part of a lot of these engagements happening. I mean, if he makes the movement in about 10 seconds' time, he's not going to have an Observer Ward that Nemiga placed down a while ago to have to play around. Of course, he doesn't know that, but it might just be one of those lucky instances that happen in Dota. Might even just look to force someone up towards the top side as well. Last Hero can just very easily push that lane in without any threat of dying at this stage.
Kiritich, it's a big kill if they can get the Elk. I think they see the Acid Spray on the ground. Raja acting like a bodyguard in front of Kiritich, even So Bad. Might be in a position to pop the smoke as well. Little bit indecisive it looks like on NoSorry. Raja though showing the lane, so they should be able to bring him down. They are nearby on Dire. I don't think they're going to have a way to protect him, though. That Mystic Flare and Fiend's Grip combo is something you brought up in the draft, and we have seen it multiple times so far, and it's really going to go unanswered for quite a stage of this game one.
Yeah, it's still just super easy to be able to get that conversion. The thing is now, though, again, you're up against an Alchemist who is going to continue to scale. He's got the BKB, so maybe now he can even farm a little bit more aggressively, considering he knows he doesn't have that Fiend's Grip to deal with for the next, minute and a half. So look to see Kiritich put a little bit more pressure onto this bottom side of the map and maybe even be joined by the rest of the team.
NoSorry with the net worth lead against an Alchemist lineup. Going to be incredibly happy with the position they're in. Up 1,000 gold. Dream still farming off the back of this Aegis as well. He's almost got the BKB completed. Looking for the disassemble of the Dragonlance. So we are going to have a gigantic fight take place in the next minute or so.
Fortunately for us, though, last hero doesn't have the Aghanim Scepter queued up, so that's a little bit disappointing. We love seeing some new stuff come through.
We were theory crafting when we thought this was the counter pick.
Dire are scanning.
Looking for, they're trying to catch out the puck as he's going for this split push. Look, they're looking at the wave. Oh, is he going to reveal? No, very patient there.
Oh, he's going
Malrine, although...
Radiant are
They're doing a good job of splitting the map right now, though, on Nemiga. Like, they're having to play into an Aegis for the next couple of minutes. They're still able to farm. They're putting people in really risky positions. Malrine not dying, despite going for that sort of avenue. And, yeah, just, again, Pugner, solid positioning, standing in front of his core. It's just really well done by Nemiga. This is why they're 4-1.
Yeah, this is exactly the point I was just going to bring up. Pugner's positioning is perfect. As a position 5, you've got nothing to do right now with Kiritich farming aggressively on the map. Pugner hasn't really moved from this bottom bounty section for the past minute or so. He's just in a position where he's looking to pop that smoke for NoSorry to connect to bot. It's a really nice read. They've got this kind of 2-2-1 setup. The moment you see, again, Malrine kind of playing with Vajra next to the T2 tower, just in case to counter-initiate. At the moment, Nemiga just trying to find these next set of items, waiting out the Aegis. They do have another minute 15 left on it. So we'll see what the call is from NoSorry. Does look like they're starting to make their way to top.
Radiant's middle
Black
tower
Archangel
is under
putting a
attack.
couple of wards down. I almost kind of wonder if it would have been worth him doing the Tinker Ward, just because the puck has been making that play previously with shoving the waves out, but
Radiant's middle
they're going
tower
to need
is
to
under
force them to
attack.
pop the glyph in a situation where they really don't want to. There's no creep wave that's going to be able to be cleared away. I wonder if Kiritich even should be putting a little bit more pressure on this bottom lane, so the decision is a bit harder.
Vajra's?
But
Oh my lord, those reactions.
this is what I'm talking about, right? They glyph,
Radiant's
but
middle
for
tower
what?
is under
Now the
attack.
tower is very easy for them to be able to claim.
Dire's
They
top
might
tower.
even be
Mid lane.
able to...
Oh, they got the silence.
Middle tower
Yon
has fallen.
just got in range to be able to land the silence. Now the Fiend's Grip as well to lock down the puck. There's NoSorry. They get the T2 tower top. They also get the puck pickoff, and they're not done. Archangel able to catch up to the Pugner off the back of the Stampede, and 4 heroes instantly show up from NoSorry.
What is this creep wave doing in mid lane at the Radiant tier 3s?
Just
It's just
gone for a walk.
he's
Nothing
going
wrong.
for the... Oh, the courier!
Oh no! He's gonna get it. No way! Imagine if he's got another. Oh my!
But now, like, they have no glyph. They have no glyph to be able to defend this mid tier 2. They have no heroes to be able to defend this mid tier 2 either. Like, Dragon Knight's going to do his best, coming in with the fireball in a couple of seconds, but he just got an incredibly farmed TA to have to deal with. Backing off just because the Aegis was reclaimed about 20 seconds ago. But again, just some very solid movements coming out from NoSorry. Haven't really looked at the Alchemist in recent times, though. What's he got? Picked up the AC as well, but he's still a level and a half behind the TA at this stage.
This Supernova has to be perfect from Hellscream. They've got double BKBs to play with and Stampede to close the distance as well. So if you are not perfect with this Supernova, then all of a sudden the fight can just turn on its head. And that's really how Nemiga get back into this game, is their team fight. Coil into Egg, into Elk jumping in as well and just having a free fight where they're trying to bring down the Supernova.
Kind of split right now on NoSorry, so if they're able to catch someone, that's going to be a huge positive for them. Last hero, probably one of the last people that you actually want to run into, but I don't know. I feel like they've got an okay amount of damage if Alchemist joins. He's also got that Blink Dagger available.
Especially with the Sunray maxed up and the Spell Amp that we see as well from Phoenix, from the level 10 talent. So I guess just the issue is controlling him for a long enough time. You're probably forced to drop the coil for that, but you're okay with it. What is it, 75-second cooldown? They smoked under a ward as well, so... NoSorry, they can get themselves set up for this. There's a very good vision across the map, though, for Nemiga to play with.
Yeah, a little bit surprising that Nemiga didn't deward that. I mean, they were just pushing a tier 2 tower previously. You saw both supports be up there for that push, so leads you to think that that area might be warded.
Dream?
They're going to get punished for it. I mean, he's trying to be a little greedy here.
He should know.
Move off.
They haven't showed this smoke in quite some time. The rest of his team is by the triangle, so they haven't moved there just yet. Only other place is really down to bottom.
He just wanted to drop the trap. He's just keeping the wave push with a trap.
Restored vitality.
And now, maybe they're the ones that are going to look to go for a smoke. Or at least play around this top side again. They still don't have the glyph for mid. They don't have a tier 2 top to TP2. You can easily take back the outpost, push the wave in, and then, yeah, just secure even more of the map.
Dire's middle
When
tower
have
is under attack.
you been seeing the Alchemists put emphasis on the Ag Shard? Because Kiritich just went for it. What is about 5 items in?
I feel like it's important to not just automatically pop the BKB if you get
Dire's middle
enfeebled,
tower
for
is
example.
under attack.
So I feel like it's going to be pretty useful
Dire's
against that.
middle tower
Even
has
just to
fallen.
provide it over to the puck to break the silence that you've got.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Spirit Vessel as well. Very annoying thing
Radiant
to have to play
structures
around where,
are
again,
fortified.
you're not wanting to pop the BKB. It almost feels like if you pop the BKB on the Alchemist and you
Radiant's
start to
bottom
run
tower is
at
under
NoSorry,
attack.
they're just going to stampede and run away and then reset and go in again. Because then what can you do as this Alchemist? You're going to have so much to contend with.
Hopefully they give him some solo
Radiant's
experience so he can get the
bottom
level
tower has
18.
fallen.
Doesn't even matter with Hellscream being nearby. It's also got that second point in the Supernova, which is going to be really important for the Phoenix. Again, it is another tier 2 tower that NoSorry have been able to claim. This is 3 smokes now in probably the past 3
Radiant's
minutes for
bottom
Nemiga.
tower is under
Now they
attack.
do see Dream farming. I'm going to go for this kill instead.
Angel.
Oh.
Shadow Amulet.
Oh. Alright, it's definitely not the most valuable kill. Maybe you can get some map control back now, because mid and top are kind of pushed out. It's all eyes on this next Roshan. You need to get set up for it if you're Nemiga.
Yeah, they're going to be praying that Roche is up. It's not. They should know that there's a TA trap inside it as well, so bad. Places the sentry ward there just to be able to prepare for it. And yeah, it's all about fighting around this area right now. You cannot be fighting to the right side of the middle of the map. It just doesn't make too much sense. Dream's going to do it because, of course, he's got plenty of towers to TP2, but for Nemiga, they just need to be playing inside their own
Radiant
jungle,
are
looking to take away
scanning.
as much vision as they can. They just need to win this next team fight. It's almost at the stage where you almost want to go the gem, just so that you could set things up for yourselves a little bit easier. You know you've got that surprise. They don't know exactly where you're looking to move around.
This is
Roche is
pretty...
up. Oh.
It's pretty important for Nemiga. They've got all their lanes in a good position. So they don't have an obligation to go clear some of the creeps out.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Azure. No, what again? This guy's reactions are pretty goddamn fast.
Big items coming through for Nemiga as well. 4 stuff to be able to break the Skywrath combo. Kyra and Sanj, of course, just to have a lot less
Dire
of that
are
lockdown.
scanning.
I believe... Did they smoke under a ward again? No, the Observer ward's gone away.
Oh, this is beautiful. They could get the wraparound. They've got their own ward on the triangle for Nemiga. This could be great positioning for them to enter the fight. NoSorry recognizing they need to stay under their own wards as well. Smoke's gonna pop. Dream charging
Shows.
to the middle. Going for the Templar Assassin's not going to be easy. The chain control needs to be perfect, and it is. He doesn't have an opportunity to get the BKB off. And now in the middle of the fight, the Supernova won't be dealt with. It's finally Nemiga able to flex how strong this team truly can be. A 3-for-1, a buyback forced out of Vajra. But this should be Roshan as well.
1 kill is all it takes for them to be able to just take back a hold of this game. You're going to have that Aghanim shot as well available. Who even needs it? I mean, it'd be great to give that over to the Phoenix for sure.
Yep.
Let's get that double Sunray, of course, we were talking about the difficulty that they have of being able to deal with the Centaur. He eventually pops the Stampede, but yeah, running away, and even honestly going this hard, I guess you're going to have the benefit of having the Retaliate, extra strength damage coming through, same sort of thing with the Double Edge, but I'm still of the mindset that you just do not hit this Centaur at all. He is completely ignored. He should be the 5th hero to die in every single team fight on Nemiga. So I feel like they need to do something that kind of forces them to hit him, you know?
100% in agreement. You are... Yonder's, Yeah, who are you hitting on, Yond? What's going on?
It's me.
Bro, no one can have a crush on you. It's actually cute. You think someone would?
You keep crawling back, so I don't know what to say.
I'm forced to, honestly. Oh, just hands tied behind my back, just forced to walk on forward and cast with you. Oh.
Well, okay, I'm not into that. Let's not go too far.
Who's observing right now? I don't know. I'm pretty skilled being able to do it with my toes.
This is one of those streams. This is a PG stream.
Just speaking about moving the cursor.
Regeneration.
Alright, it looks like Hellscream get the Ag Shard over to him. We got the Aegis onto Kiritich as well. 5,000 net worth lead. Where it's rightfully expected to be for an Alchemist lineup. He is so far ahead in net worth, but you are going to have issues though as the game gets later and later that your position 3 Dragon Knight is not going to scale with the position he's in the net worth.
Yeah, I think they really just want to take use of this second Aegis and look to play around the BKB timing on Vajra. I feel like they think that Alchemist has next to no way of dying with the position that the game is in right now, with how farmed he is relative to everyone else on NoSorry. So it's just about creating space for that next big fighting item that you've got on NoSorry. It's going to be the BKB. Phoenix going for a halberd. Okay. I'm not really seeing too many instances where he should be like standing next to anyone. I guess you've got the dive to be able to play around, but well, I trust him. Hellscream, very good player.
It's like NoSorry one fight. All it can really require out of Nemiga to put Raid in a position where they need to group up is 4. Like one person's trying to split up the map, which is Manic on the Invoker. And the rest of them are just making sure they stay together to not get picked off. It's a big advantage that Nemiga are playing with this second Roshan. And they're starting to get a lot of map control out of it. Bottom outpost is going to be claimed. Kiritich is going to force them back to be able to defend bot. So this could give Nemiga an opportunity to sweep to top unless Kiritich actually maybe just wants to siege the high ground for a little bit.
He'll be fine.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Popping the Berserk Potion before the Enfeeble, so he's going to need to back off there.
Is under attack.
I mean, obviously, we were talking before about the Spirit Vessel very early on into the game. Obviously, now that BKBs are a little bit more prevalent, it's not anywhere near as good. Same sort of thing with the Berserk Potion, but it's still such a damn good game for healing reduction. You're going up against a support Pugner, Phoenix, DK, Alchemist. It's just the value is nuts. So if they're able to drag this game out long enough, you're going to have the Shivas available on Manic. But doesn't seem like Nemiga want to give them that opportunity.
They're going to jump Kiritich straight away. Sunray and Live Train, it's protected Kiritich long enough that NoSorry and now able to get rid of the Aegis, which is still in the hands of the Elk for another 2 minutes. So we'll force everyone back on NoSorry.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Doesn't have the Boots of Travel just yet on Malrine, so if they could see him TPing up here and making plays, I wonder if they might want to make one of their own, even up into this Aegis. Yeah, I think that's exactly what's happening. Look at the pings coming out of the map, but they're saying, look, they're just playing around their high ground ward, so let's try and pick someone off.
I think they smoked under the ward, though. But they're going to jump the Phoenix. A really valuable target if they can bring him down. He might have to egg to start the fight, but the force up to the north. It's not enough to keep him alive. It's going to look to buy back. A lot of importance on this team fight to turn it back around. Is Dream charging the right, targeting down the Dragon Knight for the moment, but Dream is going to be cautious. Kiritich instantly hunting the TA, trying to get rid of her from having a free team fight. With the BKBs on cooldown though, they're still able to scout out Dream in the lane, running behind the creep wave. Dream's in trouble. This Sunray burning him alive in the first hit bash. Kiritich is in. They've got the second use of the Sunray thanks to the Supernova. A Centaur, another hero burnt down. They've got no answer to that buyback coming out of Hellscream. What a read from the Phoenix to be able to rejoin this fight.
Speaking of those buybacks, you don't have them on the two most valuable heroes on NoSorry, so Kiritich still with a minute left.
He's going to try and solo kill Yond. Not going to tick out to the Witch Blade
right now. He's zoning him away, allowing the Alchemist to do whatever the hell he wants. He basically just is begging for 100 mana so that he can look to pop his ulti and have that available for himself. I don't think anyone's got a mango to give him. He's got a clarity in his backpack, so just looking to wait for now.
Ages should be ticked out.
Die, I think, on Kiritich. Yeah.
Ooh, not the EMP. Oh, he's off the mark and he's in.
Whoa.
I think the Abyssal Blade just got delivered. Manic forced to pop the BKB. It's a lot of damage on Kiritich, so with BKB on cooldown, but once he can get rid of the Spirit Vessel, should be okay. Are they going to stick around, though? I think you got to get out.
Thinking maybe they go for one, but again, it's just the effectiveness of that Enfeeble, right? He really doesn't want to pop the BKB, but you just throw that onto any kind of 4 Protect 1 draft. 60% damage reduction. It's no joke, man. He didn't have Berserk Potion and doesn't want a BKB.
And Invoker's a incredible high ground defender as well. So many constantly just spamming out abilities as best as possible to delay this. And, well, Nemiga, they have not backed off from NoSorry's territory. Once again, a smoke. They see Last here on top of the wave. They don't see anyone else, though. Again, you mentioned earlier they want to just avoid the Centaur, and they're going to find the backlines. The Sky, fresh mints for Nemiga to feed on, and now they're going to try and trail to the west as well. Last hero, oh, Coil just gets a connection. BKB and Stampede if required. They're going to look to cut the backside, though. Hellscream just diving to the middle. They've got nothing to be able to control them for the moment. In fact, Kiritich is in with the Abyssal Blade, so gets rid of the Bane. But 3 other heroes on NoSorry will safely retreat to their high ground.
Ooh, really does feel like it could go either way right now, and to me, it feels like they're just playing around buybacks. If they could somehow catch someone out that has previously bought back, go for the dieback play, then that seems like Nemiga's best opportunity to be able to close this one out. As for right now, the only one with buyback is the Invoker, and he's desperately trying to get up to that level 20 for himself, just giving that, you would assume, extra little bit of alacrity, damage, and speed over to the TA, who, I mean, Dream's having a fine game. Of course, once he picks up that Daedalus for himself, it's going to become even better at just bursting down whichever target they're able to catch out.
We've really seen, though, since that one fight they lost by the Roche Pit, they've had no map control since then. The vision is just being a non-factor. You've got a couple traps getting laid out on the map, but hopefully this gem on Last Hero can give them an opportunity to maybe get some control around their high ground, say their triangle, where they can group up, take a fight, catch Nemiga off guard as they're just walking up mindlessly into a choke point.
Got the gem, though, on NoSorry. They really want to make sure that they've got some level of map control available for themselves again. Probably one of the most common spots has actually been missed by their movement here, and a lot of the pings are coming out. I think they see the fact that they've got the gem, and they're maybe just wanting to play around a few more of the obvious ward spots on Nemiga's side to be able to make a counter movement if they were to go for a smoke in the next little bit. Looks like that might be the case. 5 heroes on NoSorry coming together. Any smokes, though? Not that I could see. Looks like the courier might have a few of them coming out. Oh, and they see the smoke coming through. They also see the Aghanim Shard or the Centaur, giving him the Elven Tunic as well. So again, does kind of feel like the situation of just don't hit Centaur. But, of course, now he is much more of that right clicker, you know, with the Aghanim Shard, with the speed that he's able to attack, with the Elven Tunic. Of course, the Retaliate and the Double Edge both benefiting from strength. He might actually need to consider his damage output.
We are about to have double halberds for Nemiga. Azja's gone into 1, and we were mentioning earlier that the Phoenix is looking to finish his item. Just needing the
Radiant's top
Talisman
tower has
to
fallen.
get that last component.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Up they go, though.
Defend.
Dire's bottom tower.
Asira's going to try and delay. Sunray should be enough along with the life drain behind. See how difficult it is to kind of blow up Kiritich whenever the supports are ready to protect him. They get the tier 3? No, definitely not. Couldn't see it on the map because goddamn Centaur's too big, so got a decent chunk of damage, but we're going to be looking towards that third Roshan and not Radiant. They're smoking outside the base. They got a really good ward to play with.
Silence.
Oh, look at Melrin's position, though. The higher ground, he might be able to scout them out. Pings are coming through from Manic.
Everything.
Oh, I think they just saw the Centaur into the pit as well. Melrin. Show is slow.
Just popping the smoke on the rest.
It's going to be really important. If you don't have a lot of smokes to play with this next Roche fight coming up, it's a bit unfortunate for NoSorry not to be able to get anything out of it. They're going to charge on to try and D-ward. What's going on? Oh, they got their own warders there. All right.
You always talk about the importance of having those buybacks, and we saw how Hellscream's buyback in that previous engagement influenced things, but I suppose he doesn't have it for a minute, 10 seconds, but he's bought out for the halberd. He wants to be able to influence this, be able to get in onto the TA
Dire's
nice and
middle
quick,
tower is
especially
under attack.
considering her BKB is down to 7 seconds. Feels like Dream really just wants that level 25, though.
Radiant are scanning.
Another smoke that goes begging. Everyone playing very well, honestly, not to not be caught out by these smokes that we've seen throughout this game.
Archangel does have the buyback, so he's the one that goes forward. Ooh.
He gets the D ward. The rest of Radiant standing nearby. They might just have to sacrifice the Bane. Manic's going to try and chuck some abilities out. Templar Assassin's in as well, but instantly the use of the Halberd's going to force TA back. With the buyback. As you're happy with that for the moment, retreat to the north. So we do have a 5-on-5 once again. But
Just getting a little greedy, going for that sentry ward on the high ground as well, right? You don't really need it. You just needed to deal with the Observer and get back out. I think he would have been safe if he opted to go down that pathway.
it's at least it did force something though. Like BKB and Elder Dragon form's not going to be available for this next fight. They do have to wait a little bit for the Elder Dragon form, but it's important to realize Dream's got the level 25 as well, so more refraction instances.
Fiend's Grip is still just so incredibly important though, right? You have to
They
lock
see
down.
Dream. Okay, trying to start the Roche.
There's all those refraction instances though, up to 13. Still able to get the blink out.
Quickly as I go.
Great positioning from
Time,
Radiant.
Melrine. Oh, this is really important as well. I think Nemiga just want to try and delay this as much as possible. They're just heavily playing around their own ward. Oh, this is ballsy by Melrine. Look how close he is to level 25. If he can have that Dream Coil piercing immunity.
They got the ward on the high ground. They're going to jump.
No!
Oh, the damage. Yon is in with the Mystic Flare. There's a buyback if required. It's such a heavy commitment, though, to buy back on your position, too.
He just didn't need to be there. He needed to get his level 25
Oh.
safely in the lane. Hopefully he does it now. There we go. That was all it took. One creep wave.
Look at Radiant's
Radiant's
vision.
bottom barracks are under
They
attack.
have... Is this another ward? Yeah, 4 wards committed for this Roche. They know the importance. Kiritich is in.
Right on in though.
Got to get rid of the Phoenix.
Already-
Radiant's bottom barracks are
He's
under
already
attack.
freeing up those item slots on Melrine. For the Aeon disc as well, I believe.
I'll take that.
This could catch them off guard as well with Archangel's position to the north. It is under the cover of the Shadow Amulet, and they might not see him for a little bit of time, and that Fiend's Grip could be a long enough control for someone else to step in and provide the damage.
And though NoSorry feels fine with waiting, they saw that the Elder Dragon form was popped. They're going to be able to get rid of the Observe Ward at least, so that's 1 of 4 removed, but, well, DK doesn't have his ultimate for the next 40 seconds. Certainly feels a lot less effective right now, and if they've been timing that effectively, we might see them start to move into the pit. Of course, the Stampede still such an effective tool. Nemiga obviously still wanting the level 25 for the Alchemist.
Dude, such a long standoff. What's going on? Fight!
With how long they've waited, now Elder Dragon form only 15 seconds away, so Nemiga, they're fine with this.
When do you jump? When is the opportunity for the Centaur to go? Just waiting under the cover of the invis. Nicely done from Melreen. Trying to pop those blink daggers, but Roche is still at half health. Badger's in though. They've sniffed out the Bane. That's going to be a dieback. Onto position 5 to the north, though. They're in. Kiritich targeting down the Centaur for the moment. They should be able to get the Phoenix as well. No supernova for this team fight as the coil. Not enough to hold back NoSorry. They can chain this into the Dragonite kill as well. Buybacks. That is what they're looking for out of Nemiga. Pugner and DK both forced to buy back, but NoSorry. A 4-on-4.
Phoenix 20 seconds away from his buyback. Actually less. He's just waiting for gold right now, so he can actually look to rejoin this if they absolutely need him.
Kiritich just bought out as well for refresher. So he's not going to buy back if they kill him off. Forced off down. They might be able to get him. Kiritich is in trouble. The life drain doesn't heal him up. And now Melreen, keep in mind he bought back prior as well. He does have an Aeon. In fact, it's already popped. So what's the call on Nemiga? Vaj's in. Sunray as well for the burn. They'll kill off the Centaur, but Aegis, it's in the hands of Dream. The TA can charge him down now 1 by 1, but they're not going to have an answer to the Supernovas. Coil leashing them on the left side, but they're just out of range, and NoSorry can retreat to the safety of their triangle. What a fight for the lads on Radiant.
They get everything? I think they did. Refresher shard on Manic, excuse me, and everything else. The cheese, the Aegis on the TA. So, well, things are looking up and up. I was talking about the effectiveness of that Shiva's, right? They were able to get him locked down. That plus the Spirit Vessel. He just wasn't regenning anything at all. Even the Enfeeble on top of that.
I don't know if Yond had it for that fight, but he has the Timeless Relic, so maybe that's why the Sky was doing so much damage with that Mystic Flare as well. It's gone for the 20 talent with the 12% Ancient Seal magic resistance reduction, so even more burst potential. It's got the Scepter now as well. Jesus, this game, we are back to pretty much a dead even.
Dire's bottom tower is under
A lot of
attack.
damage, that's for sure. I think they also got the Ninja gear available on NoSorry's side, so right now the Invoker's holding on to it, just wanting to go for a lot of these pickoffs, but really wouldn't hate to see the Bane holding it either. Really, it's all about him just getting into the right position to be able to land those Fiend's grips.
Would you start to be getting concerned though if you're Nemiga, considering Alchemist is not a carrier that scales overly well into the later stages?
I mean, he's level 25, right? He's just got a little bit of the movement speed because he was getting kited around a lot easier.
Dire
The
are
main
scanning.
issue for mine is just how they're actually... They're wasting a lot of their cooldowns, basically, is what I'm seeing on Nemiga, right? Like, they're not fully cohesive with some of their movements. Now that they've hit that level 25 on the Alchemist, they feel a lot more confident in going in. Still going to be that 30 seconds left on the Chemical Rage, though, so certainly don't want to be popping the Refresher Orb just for that.
It might be in a position where a fight will break out as well, especially with the position that NoSorry are in. Playing towards their bottom outpost behind Dream. Do they have any wards to place down? Does not look like it for the moment, so both sides kind of lacking in the vision department. Dire have got 2, but more defensive. And they do not have the Centaur as well nearby if this fight does occur.
It honestly, it feels so weird to say. Maybe it's me being biased as a support player, but For
Classic.
Nemiga, it really feels like the Phoenix has taken over as being the real carry of this game. Like, he's level 20, and like he's got the talent that's needed for all of that extra damage to rip through the TA refractions, to deal with the Centaur, to heal up the Alchemist who's standing there on the front lines. Turned off his Radiance, so they're really looking to try and use every trick in the book to be able to catch them
Smoke
out
pops. They get a glimpse of
Smoke pop.
Dream.
Ooh.
Great reactions of a blink away. Manic's going to join as well with a refresher out. Controlling him for the moment. They're on the Phoenix, though. You just mentioned how important he is. Your Scepter last second, but last hero is in with the stomp. And now they can turn to Kiritich. Refresher pop. Gonna get another round of the BKB. Kiritich, he just wants to get out. But the rest of Nemiga, they might be not so fortunate. Oh, nice blink, but still last hero is able to catch up to the Dragonite inside the river. Both these heroes don't have a buyback. Another puck? Ooh, playing with fire, Melreen.
He needs to. He needs to make these risky plays. Of course, he had bought back previously. He's actually gone the Revenant's Brooch as well. Ooh, we get to see it. I mean, it's probably not an amazing game for it, to be honest. There's no, like, super high armor heroes. There's no Ghost Scepters that he's playing against. So maybe he was just like, well, I've run out of item slots.
Dream is
Dire's bottom
a big
tower
issue
is
for
under
them.
attack.
4, 2, and 6. Not a crazy KDA, but when you give him this alacrity,
Dire's
Manic did go for that
bottom
20
tower
talent
is
as well.
falling.
Dream is just charging up this
Dire's
high
bottom
ground.
tower is under attack.
Buy the Moon
Dire's
Shard. You've got the
structures
money
are
for it.
fortified.
Buyback cooldown still 3 minutes and a little bit for the
Dire's
Phoenix.
bottom tower has fallen.
They'll have the DK and Phoenix up in 40
Dire's
at least,
bottom
but
barracks are under attack.
for this next fight, if it does break out shortly, they won't have the opportunity for a second life.
Dire's
Should be at
bottom barracks
least a
has fallen.
melee.
Damage,
Dire's
man.
middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Actually just insane. Doesn't even care about the acid spray staying right inside it.
Look at Dream go to work, man. Trying to stall this one out.
Dire's middle barracks.
Wow, 2 full sets. NoSorry, 5,000 net worth lead. There was just nothing Nemiga really could do with 2 heroes down. They've got a DD as well. They are under the cover of the wards. They're going to see Dream. They'll see Yon shortly as well. So they will have some idea of what NoSorry, at least their positioning. They're probably also force Radiant to maybe defend top. Yeah, you see, look at TA exactly drawing. Go to the triangle, then move to the top outpost and control that area.
Also bought out for the Hurricane Pike, looking to get the most value out of the Dragonlance as he can. Going to be a really nice tool just to be able to get out of the things like the Life Drain, the Sunray. Little bits of effectiveness right now because this TA is fully slotted outside of Ag's Blessing and a Moonshard. Aegis expiring as well.
It's probability looking like 88% for NoSorry.
Yeah, it was really still in NoSorry's favor for... Wait, it's gone back to NoSorry?
Yeah, it was quite there. It was,
Yes.
Dire are scanning.
It's 2 lanes of racks, but still, like, I feel like this is one of those instances where you can't really use stats for much. Like, this can come down to just some individual plays. Right now, NoSorry, their thing is catch the Phoenix. If they can catch the Phoenix, then they're laughing, right? They're going to be just feeling super comfortable with continuing to pressure on forward, and they still don't have amazing egg hitters. I suppose maybe you do with the alacrity, especially with the talent as well, and Dream being as crazy farmed as he is, but well, I really don't think on Kiritich you could go for this trade. Like,
They're
you're gonna get megged.
sieging.
You gotta get back.
Dire's
You,
top tower
you're gonna get megged. They've already used Coil. You don't have Coil for Supernova now. What was that
Hex on the
reaction? A 4 subs out. Back to the safety. The high ground is Hellscream. They're going to jump the Centaur with the Sunray damage. Forced up to reposition. Last hero's going to be okay. A crazy start to the fight with 0 casualties. Dream is trying to find an opening to jump back in, but no one on Nemiga is out of position.
I mean, They were revealing on the map. You have one lane of racks left, and they were just like, you know what? I think we could outpush a TA that's as farmed as this Dream TA is. Wait, he's 3,000 gold behind an Alchemist, man.
Yeah, Dream is a goddamn scary beast. He's not even capped out. Doesn't have the blessing. Doesn't have the moon shard. Can swap out someone for the BKB, the treads. My guy still has plenty of farm, but you know he wants to hold 10k gold, so we'll see. I do want to quickly mention as well, itemization-wise, I love this from Hellscream going Aeon Disc, because again, this game we've really put the importance on Phoenix being the first one to die, and he's recognizing that.
You think he's gonna get it though? I don't.
I don't think so. Vajra. Should be okay for the moment. Melrin's gonna try and force some reactions. Oh my god, Melrin! Aeon Disc to protect him for the moment. He's walking back into the middle. They're in on the Templar Assassin. Coil's gonna leash them together with the backline though. Mystic Flare. They need a way to be able to deal with the Supernova. Medic's gonna try and bring it down, but they don't have the right clicks. Again, all these 4 staffs to reposition. They can go back in if you're NoSorry. Last hero, it's so difficult to get rid of the Centaur.
They got nothing left.
They've got nothing in the tank. Maybe a buyback at a Kiritich, but the heroes are just falling left, right, and center.
And they're just like, well, our creeps are hitting the towers. Let's just go top, push this in amazingly quickly, like we do. I mean, he's fine.
Stampede onto Vajra.
I think.
Again, they're going to try and bring down the Templar Assassin with the BKB on cooldown. They might be able to get the kill. Ooh. The Sunray from afar. Kiritich is onto last hero now next. And Nemiga will hold, but it comes at such a grave cost.
They're going to be praying that he doesn't have buyback, but of course he does. He just hasn't gotten too many new items in the next little bit, holding on to 11,000 gold on this TA. But you got to push the lanes out, right? Malrine, of course, going to be able to do a good job at that, but how fast can you push is the question. You just got to buy out for everything. Rapier is the next thing queued up by the Alchemist, in addition to the Moon Shard, the Boots of Travel 2. They're really praying for that Roshan to be available, but I honestly don't know how I feel about waiting for Roche. Like, this is your one opening where you might be able to get some control back, at least have those lanes passively pushing in for you again, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to take advantage of it.
Dire are scanning.
Oh boy, what a position we're in for our game 1. Probability.
Did go bots too on the Alk.
Oh. You... I don't know if you can even rat this game. I don't think you can.
No, you
so... What are you looking to play with the pick off on the side lane? But Radiant have pretty decent catch as well. Like a Bane, you got Hex on Boka.
Almost capped out movement speed as well. That's another factor, considering he's level 25. Bots 2, of course, gives 110 movement speed, so maybe he was feeling he was getting a little too kited in a lot of these engagements.
Look at the well-playeds coming out. They're like, yep, we're just one more fight. That's all we need on NoSorry. No buybacks coming out of us. We know that Dai committed multiple buybacks. And those were Pugna, Phoenix, and the Alchemist. One more fight. That's all they need.
Both teams know that Roche is up. Also got the bots 2 on the puck.
They're pinging Vajra's location. How long's the DK gonna stay? He's gonna jump in! Trying to target down Medic for the moment. They'll deal with the Phoenix group instantly, but Vajra's still in trouble. Look at the egg!
Great supernova.
Onto the high ground! They need to retreat. The core's not gonna leash them together, but they're just losing heroes. Last hero jumped to the back line. They found a double on the Sentinel, and all of a sudden, you gotta evacuate. You have to get out on Nemiga. This will give away Roche for free now.
Now the question is, does the TA do the selfish thing and take the blessing, or do we give it to the Centaur?
Does Puck go for this? He's got a buyback. Menix also just instantly popped Lincoln, so Menix, what is that, man? Oh my lord, those fast goddamn fingers, they ain't boomer fingers. Instant Lincolns popped into the Hex. Puck forced to buy back. You've got every component out of the Ages as well.
Invisibility.
Dagon as well. He really just wants to be able to pick off any target, try and delay this game, but I just don't think he's going to be able to. Of course, the Aghanim's Blessing enabling the TA. Such crazy movement around the map.
Dire's top barracks
Doesn't
are
even need
under
to buy the
attack.
Moonshard. This is going to be Megas. Nice lane of Rax melting, taking away the
Dire's
vision.
top barracks
What
is
can you
fallen.
do?
The Radiant
You're gonna
now
have egg as well.
Radiant are
This
scanning.
is a miracle hold for Nemiga. And I don't think we're going to see it out of them. They got a glyph, maybe to stall for the Dragonite to be alive.
Oh,
Manic's just going to make space though. Kiritic, he's not even going to get a right click off. Rapier on the deck. And that is all she wrote for our game one. NoSorry.
Radiant victory.
Able to take it in the end. They combat the Alchemist draft. What a performance from the Radiant lads.
Very, very nicely done by NoSorry. Really, it felt like everything that they did from the beginning of the game was really solid. You know, there was that one small period where Alchemist was getting a little bit out of control. They were allowing him to farm as much as he wanted, but it was all for good reason. You know, they were still getting towers. They were still restricting the areas. They still knew exactly where he was and where they could make the plays happen. It was a nice one for sure. But well, NoSorry really just shows that they can look to punish this Alchemist style of draft.
And they did just that. I mean, what an incredible way to be able to kick off our Eastern Europe action here. We got 3 series tonight with NoSorry and Nemiga starting off, and a game one going as long as it did, and with as much action we had. 49 kills, 53 minutes in. Just a exciting victory for NoSorry as well. Feel like everyone played their part, but we just saw for quite some time that the Phoenix, there was a couple of really key fights where he was unable to spellcast on what they were requiring out of him. Really felt like we didn't see the combo as well from the Coil and the Supernova, even though they had the 25 talent on the park. So they weren't able to find kind of that team fight synergy they were needing on Nemiga to turn this game back around. We had a lot Nemiga in the lead, NoSorry in the lead, back to Nemiga, back and forth. We had game one, but this sets us up perfectly for an exciting series. Of course, a very important series for both teams. Nemiga currently on the top. They are 4-1 and NoSorry 2-2. So NoSorry, well, I should say Nemiga trying to really secure their place at the top, and NoSorry, they're hunting for their position. With a game one performance like that, they are in quite a spot to be able to potentially take this series. We're going to send a break. When we come back, we've got game 2 of our first series of the night.